We're not too far into it.
At least we skipped the cat.
Yes, we did. So your radius is 1, or your hypotenuse is 1. Your leg is 2x. You're going to square that leg. Your other leg, which is right here, we don't know it. So I'll just say leg squared. Okay? Start solving. 1 times 1 is 1, and 2x times 2x is what?
4x squared.
4x squared, yes. L plus L squared. Now what? Subtract it. 1 minus 4x squared equals L squared. What does L equal?
Square root of 1 minus 4x squared.
Square root of 1 minus 4x squared is right. And that leg that we're missing right there is square root of 1 minus 4x squared. This leg is just 2x and this hypotenuse is 1. Now the question is, what's tangent of your angle? Well, tangent of your angle is y over x, so it's going to be what over what?
Square root of 1 minus 4x squared over 2x. A challenge.
Y over what? Over x. And this problem says write the following algebraic expression in terms of what? Of x. You're not going to get 4 over 5 or 1 over 2. You're not going to get numbers. You're going to get in terms of x. So you can get algebraic expressions is what you're going to get. Okay? Yes or no? Yeah? Is it clicking? Do you see what just happened? Okay, first they give you inverse cosine, which is a ratio which turns into a angle. And the angle turns out to be the reference angle. Then you have to find the missing side. Then you just do tangent. Tangent's just y over x. It's this side over this side. You're done. That might be the most complex problem we're going to do today. That's it. I mean, the other ones are pretty straightforward. All right, here we go. The next one is that one. This one says, do it with no calculator and approximate your answer. And we kind of did this yesterday, didn't we? So when you're ready, say the answer. Chloe says what?
5.
Chloe says 5. Is she right?
Yes.
Okay, watch. Out with that tangent and that inverse tangent. Why can't I just knock them out?
Because they cancel.
Because they're inverse functions. Inverse functions always knock each other out. Plus 5, minus 5, 0. Multiply something by 5, divide it by 5, you're back to where you started. They're inverse functions, so you can knock them out. The answer is what? 5, right? Why did it say approximate?
Just throw you off.
Ah,
They're going to get harder and more complicated.
no, that's not right. That's why. That's not the right answer. Did you guys look at it before you? And you're right. Chloe, you're right. Cross them out. The answer's 5. She's right. Problem is, did you see the outside function? The outside function is take the inverse tangent of the answer. Well, you got to remember something. Inverse tangent is supposed to be here or what? Here. Well, the problem is, you told me 5. And you guys, you got to understand this. When you took tangent of 5, do you know what 5 is? Is that a ratio or is that an angle? That says just tangent. That's an angle. Whenever you do tangent, cosine, sine, that's an angle. That is not a ratio. So this says 5 what? Radians. You're telling me the answer is 5 radians? Well, guess what? Watch this. Where's 5 radians? Start here. This is 1 radius. Wrap it. There's 1 radian. There's 2 radians. Do you see a problem already? You just went outside your restriction. You cannot pass 90 or pi over 2. You just did. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. This is what you're telling me the answer is, and you are right. It's just you went outside your restrictions. Inverse tangent says, give me answers 0 to 90 or 0 to negative. You know what the answer is? It's right here. Right there. That's the answer.
Negative 1.1.
Found me.
What?
Found me.
1.2.
1.28, I'm here. Nope, not 1.28.
Negative.
Negative. This is really negative what? 1.28. How do we get that? Well, we have to understand. A full circle is 2 pi. But 2 pi is what? Roughly 6.28 radians. Well, you traveled 5 radians to get here. Well, what's this piece left? Take this and do what? Subtract your 5 radians. Now you get down to 1.28. The question becomes, why is it negative?
Because you're going the opposite direction.
You're starting at 0 and you're going clockwise. And when you go clockwise, it's negative. Okay? That's why. So that's kind of a trick problem in a way, because you guys, after yesterday, you probably went, hey, answer is 5 radians, done. Don't blame you. I'd want to be done too, but the problem is inverse tangent has to be 0 to 90 or 0 to negative 90 or 2, pi over 2 or negative pi over 2. So you'd have to say this as your answer. Okay? Are you understanding that? Some of you go like this, and some of you don't shake an eyebrow. So it's kind of hard to know what you're thinking. Next, do this one. Now we're doing inverse secant. There you go. Now, I don't want to tell you what to do. Just do what you think you have to. Come up with an answer. Circle it, point at it, do whatever when I walk by. Just show me what you got. You guys want a hint?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
Draw a picture. Draw a picture. Pictures tell a lot. You want an answer? You want the answer? No, wait a minute. Yes, that is it. Because what did you use? Yeah. So, but really, this should say inverse cosine of this. And you drew this picture here. The way you drew it, though, that would have.
Oh, I just drew the triangle.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So to me, it's like. If you have it, point. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. No. Yes. No.
Where do you want this?
Just put it right. You can put it in that same drawer. Yes, that. You might want to write it as radians also. Yes. And right, yours is radians also. No. Sorry. No. Yep, and then write it as radians. Just get used to radians also. Yep. Okay. Everett, you got it? Yes. Okay. I'm ready to go. I hope you're ready to go. I mean, half the room has the answer, so I just gotta go. Draw a picture means this. You can get away, guys, with this if you want. I don't work like this, but some students do. You know what some students say? that secant is just what over what? What is it? X over y? Is it what is it? It's r over x, right? So you know what this says to me? This is the radius of my circle. This is the x value of my circle. And you are doing secant. Secant goes with which function? Cosine. So where's cosine restricted here, guys?
90 to -90.
Here to here and here to here. This is inverse cosine. Right? Now you could get away with it by saying this is a positive ratio, so you're up here. Now this is your right triangle. Radius is 2. And the x value is what? Square root of 3. Okay, you could do that. I don't work like that. That's not how I operate. I go like this. I don't like secant. I don't like cosecant. You know what I do? I convert it over to what? Cosine, inverse cosine of. Now you have to realize, if you've got secant, inverse secant being this ratio, inverse cosine will be what ratio? Square root of 3 over 2. And then, of course, how would I think? I would think this is the x and this is the r. But wouldn't this lead me to the same triangle? It's the same exact triangle, so I can't go wrong. So here it goes. I've got the 2 and the square root of 3 there. What's this side?
1.
This side has to be 1. Well, what does the angle have to be here? 30, because that's opposite of 1. So the answer to this is 30, or what? 5 over 6. Okay. Eddie, did you say 60?
Yeah, I was.
Do you see what happened there?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, it's this angle, that whatever that is right there, and that's the same as your reference. Okay. Okay. Everybody good? You see why it's 30? If you got it wrong, you know what you told me? 60. You told me 60. So hopefully you get it. Why were you wrong? That's why. Okay, do that one. Do inverse cotangent of -1. If you haven't, show me. What does that say down there? Oh, you're up here. Oh, gotcha. And that is a 5. All right. Aaron, you'd be really good at shorthand.
Yeah.
You'd be a great shorthand person. Yes, to this. Yeah. Okay. It's a way to take notes really fast. Yes. This one? Yes and no. You broke the rules. You went way past the restriction. I know. And tangent, you give answers from 0 to 90 or 0 to -90. And you did this.
Oh,
So you did this, which you have it right. You're just
Yeah, I did the right turn.
Yes, you did. But you just broke the rules of inverse functions. Your stab is pretty good, but you're down here, so it's negative. Okay. Aaron, did you get it? Huh? Not yet? Okay, you guys get it?
Yeah, but I missed it. I put it here.
Where you at? And negative.
Oh.
In radians, it's what? Yep. You get it?
Good. So,
And then, yeah, in radians, it's what? Oh, okay.
probably-
Okay, all right, here we go. I don't know what you did. I don't even care what you did, but I want to tell you this is who I am. I don't work with those reciprocal functions. You know what I did? I changed cotangent to what? Inverse tangent. And then I flipped it. But when you flip a -1, what's it become? Still -1, yeah. So it doesn't really change it much. But now this is inverse tangent, so where are your restrictions for inverse tangent? Give all positive ratio answers here. Give all negative ratio answers here. You have a negative ratio, correct? You're in quadrant what?
4.
4, you're here, guys, look. Okay, it says 1 over 1, so you know this is the y, this is the x, so it's going to be y, negative 1, x, positive 1. Hey, what triangle is that? Obviously a 45. So you have to tell me the answer is from here down to here. Well, which direction? That's positive or negative? Negative, and it's going to be what? Negative 45 or negative 5 over 4. Good. The next two are with your calculator. Go ahead, punch it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to see what you do. Just punch it in. And again, this is inverse cosecant of 2.1. So, do you know that this is a what? Is that a ratio or is that an angle? How do you know it's a ratio?
No degree signs.
What?
There isn't a degree sign.
No,
I guessed.
because it's inverse. Inverse anything means they give you a ratio. The answer is a what?
Angle.
Angle. You guys, you're going to get an angle answer. Okay, so this is a ratio. I'd make it a ratio 2.1 over 1. That's what I would do. And then, do you even see an inverse cosecant button? Nope. I don't either. So guess what? You're forced to do what? Go with sine. Inverse sine of, these two are reciprocal functions. Yeah, you gotta flip it. Right? There. Because if you did not flip it and you just had inverse sine of 2.1, what did it say? It's error. You can't do it. You cannot do inverse sine or inverse cosine of anything bigger than 1. That's much bigger than 1, it won't work. So, you punched it in, you got an answer in probably degrees. What was it? 28.4 degrees. Okay, what if your book says radians?
0.55.
How much?
0.5.
I think it was more like this, wasn't it?
196. So
Okay, I think it goes out a little bit. 496, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 49. Here's the deal. Does that even make sense to you? That these two are equal? Yeah? 28 degrees is about where?
There.
Tell me when. There?
Down.
Okay, do you agree that, okay, that's 28 degrees. Do you agree this is the same thing? What does this even mean again? See, take half the radius and wrap it around the circle. Well, guess what? Half my arm is the radius. Half of it, about here, if you took this distance and you wrapped it around here, would you meet up with my other hand? Roughly, right? So these are the right answers. They mean the same thing. Okay, do that one. Arc secant. Arc secant, that's just inverse secant of 5/4. And you don't have this button, by the way. I hope you went to cosine, inverse cosine, and you did what with the 5/4? 4/5, right? Punched it in, got two answers. One would be degrees. One is radians. What's degrees?
36.
36 what? And radians? 0.64. Okay. Good? What's next? Are we okay? Is that it? All right, that's it. Okay. If you owe me 4/5, 4/5 was Tuesday and Wednesday. Now it's Friday. It's graphing sine, graphing cosine. If you owe me, I need it. Okay, who am I looking at here? Oh, this is period 5 stuff. Still period 5. Okay, I have no period 6. So, do I need to read your name off? Who owes me 4 5s?
No thanks.
Okay. I think I got 6 yesterday. 6. If you look in this room, guys, there's a lot more than 6 students.
So you make up 4 5?
4,
5, 6.
4 5? 4 5?
I can give you.
Some of you gave me 4 5. I just don't remember who.
Yeah.
Anybody got 4 5?
I can give you a record.
What?
I can give you a record. I want sure.
4 5 back.
Alright.
You did turn yours. I don't know
You
you
want a
Because
record?
you were the first one to turn yours.
Me.
And that's you.
Do I have to do it?
Hey guys,
can't do anything without you.
listen. The week next week is short. It's 4 days. It's gonna go fast. You can't be going. Well, I'll get you 4 5 pretty soon. I'm done with 4 7. And we're testing in about 2 more school days. You know, Wednesday's coming. So you guys, when it comes and we go on this big break, I'm done. That means what? What about those homework assignments that didn't come in? When are they gonna become? They're zeros, and they're staying zeros. So would you please catch up? Catch up.
You might wanna stop recording.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
I think you should record your cell phone record.